We're going to take this in sections, and we are going to start off with this premise, probably the biggest premise of the day, which is Michael Jordan was laughably better than LeBron James.
Going up first.
Yes, sir.
All right, welcome back to the show, everyone. Hope you all are having a good day so far. So I got something pretty cool for you guys here today. I'm actually kind of surprised this happened, and I'm really glad it did. Apparently, it just happened a couple of days ago here. LeBron James versus hater. I'm sorry, LeBron James' biggest hater versus 15 LeBron stands featuring Skip Bayless. Now, this is exactly what you think it is. This is Skip Bayless going head-to-head against a bunch of LeBron James fans. And no, I haven't watched it. I watched the first about like 3 or 4 minutes just to see what the format looked like, and it looks pretty good. I see a clock ticking basically, so it looks like it's timed, and it should be a fair battleground between a bunch of LeBron fans and the LeBron hater Skip Bayless, who turned out to be right about a lot of things that he said about LeBron. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into this one because this is a long video. I'm probably gonna have to break this one up into multiple pieces. This is coming from a YouTube channel, RightHandKam. I'm gonna link the original video down below in the description for you guys. So if you want to check out this channel, or if you want to subscribe over there, or if you want to just watch this whole thing and get ahead of me, go for it. Link is down in the description. Last thing to say is that the first minute of the video I'm skipping, basically the creator was saying that he had delays on releasing this video apparently, and a video very similar to this got released in that time. So he was just trying to say like, hey, I'm not ripping or copycatting anybody. I had this. Apparently he just had twins. So he's been a little busy. So anyways, here we go. Let's get right into it. I think he's like 70 years old at this point. Skip, that is. All right.
Let's go.
Oh, nice booze.
How are you? Here we go.
How you doing? Let's do it.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
Yep, he's
There we
public
go.
enemy number one
There we
for
go.
them.
Same to you. Same to you. How are you, sir?
Nice look out there.
How are you? You're gonna need it.
Good to see you. Ready for war.
Nah.
LeBron, I like your LeBron jersey.
All right, we did it. I'm Skip Bayless, and this is why LeBron James is not the GOAT.
Let's go. Let's go. I feel like this was made for my channel.
We're going to take this in sections, and we are going to start off with this premise, probably the biggest premise of the day, which is Michael Jordan was laughably better than LeBron James.
Going up first.
I
Yes,
love
sir.
it. I love it. Pulls no punches. He starts right out with it. Laughably better.
Right. What's your name? Your name is?
My name is Evan Campbell, and I've dreamed of this moment, so I just want a few minutes to say why LeBron James is the greatest basketball player to ever live.
Fire.
December 30th.
Look at his shirt. Oh, my God. Could you imagine? I couldn't imagine wearing that shirt. Like, even though you guys know how much of a Jordan fan I am, I could not wear a Jordan shirt like this.
1984, a king was born.
Oh, that
LeBron,
wasn't
Ramon
Tiger
James.
Woods, was it?
Wasn't
Oh, no.
Tiger
Okay,
Woods.
right, okay.
Wasn't Michael
Jordan entering the NBA?
Jeffrey Jordan, who
No.
couldn't play in Planet Fitness these days. It was LeBron James. And I have 5 reasons why.
Okay.
First, we'll start with his scoring capability. He has more regular season points than him. He has more playoff points. He has the most points of all time, 42,000 and counting. He was the youngest player to 10,000 points, youngest to 20, youngest to 30, first to 40, and first to 50 combined. He has scored 40 points on every NBA team. He has more points than the active Charlotte Hornets roster combined. He has more
That's a fun one.
50-point games than he does single-digit games in his career, 14 to 8. My second reason is his resume. 4 finals MVPs, 3 Olympic gold medals, gold medal MVP. 2012 with Miami Heat, first team all defense, first team all NBA, MVP, finals MVP.
Okay.
The third is his all-around capability over Michael Jordan. LeBron was the first player in NBA history to be a part of the 30,000 point, 10,000 rebound, 10,000 assist club. Where it's standing today, 42,000 plus points, 11,000 plus rebounds, 11,000 plus assists. Michael Jordan is not in the top 50 for assists. LeBron James is 4. Michael Jordan is not in the top 100 of rebounds. LeBron James is 25.
Okay.
There's no stat that Michael Jordan has more than LeBron. Now, Skip, I'm assuming you're going to say longevity, right?
Yeah, of course, because we're not talking averages. We're talking about totals.
Longevity, there it is. LeBron James, most NBA first teams, most all-star selections, most all-star starting appearances. Then let's start at 40. Already has more 40-point games than Michael Jordan ever had. We're in April. His birthday was in December. Longevity has to matter. He made the finals from 2011 to 2018. He didn't lose a series. Jordan got swept in 84 and 85 by the Boston Celtics.
Wait, what did he say there?
Longevity has to matter. He made the finals from 2011 to 2018. He didn't lose a series.
He didn't lose. What?
Matter. He made the finals from 2011 to 2018.
From 2011 to 2018, he made the finals. He didn't lose a series, is the next thing he says.
He didn't lose a series.
What the fuck does that mean? I'm sorry. Does LeBron have 7 championships somewhere if he didn't lose a series? He obviously lost a lot of series in there.
Jordan got swept in 84 and 85 by the Boston Celtics. I rest my case. I believe LeBron James is the greatest basketball player to ever touch a court in the history of the universe.
Okay, so you mentioned longevity. I will give you that LeBron is the longevity king because he is the most durable superstar I have ever closely observed.
Yep, we'll all give that one up, but that's all they have is the longevity numbers. But yeah, we'll give that up. What else you got?
Any sport. I'm knocking on wood to even bring this up because God blessed him in ways nobody has ever been blessed. He's had no surgeries on shoulders, knees, Achilles, nothing. And he's so blessed that he's in year 22, as you well know, playing the greatest basketball of any 40-year-old we have ever seen by far. I give you all that. He has now played 60,000 regular season minutes, the most ever, to 40,000 for Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Overall, if we throw in the playoff numbers, it's 71,000 minutes for LeBron, most ever, by far the most ever, to 48,000 for Jordan. Oh, that's 23,000 magic number because the only 23 was the original 23, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, who won 10 scoring titles in only 11 full seasons. That's all he really played, full seasons, because he got hurt early in his second season.
Gambling.
Okay, well, whatever happened, and he was gone. And then he retired way prematurely because he was at the backside of his prime.
By the way, is that really what the younger generation, is that really what they think about that first retirement? Like, that's it? It was gambling? We're not going to talk about his father getting murdered or anything like that?
On principle, because they ran his coach out the back door in Chicago. And he said, okay, I am gone and I am done. For 3 years, at the back of his prime, he did not play basketball. He came back for 2 ceremonial years. You can have your age 40 with him. He came back out of shape. He didn't care because he was the coach, the GM, and was doing a favor for the owner in Washington. I discount those 2 years. I don't even acknowledge them because he retired in 1998. I was there in Chicago for the Last Dance season, and he was the greatest terror who ever played basketball because the league was afraid of him in ways they have never been afraid of LeBron James. LeBron James is a lousy shooter by superstar standards because if you look at his career free throw percentage, it's 74%. I don't know how you're disqualified right there on 74% because if you look all time, historically, that ranks 478. You did the best you could. You made the greatest sort of pick and choose case that you could ever make for LeBron James, and I admire that. I am in awe of the case you made, cherry picking the best notes that you could pick about him. You got it?
I think so.
I mean, to be fair, even though it was all longevity stuff, that opponent did pretty well. Not going to lie. Skip's talking points, I don't know if they really combated because we could have gone longevity versus peak. And he kind of hinted at it, but he didn't quite like really get into it. But I think that's what needs to happen is like, okay, cool. It's cool what he's doing at 40 years old, but we got to look at the entire career and the success of the entire career. That's where Jordan thrives. That's where a guy like, hell, Magic Johnson thrives too, you know, pulling in all those rings in that short amount of time.
I love your attire. I'm impressed. Your name is?
My name's Yanni Klopoulos.
By the way, so before we go on, what do you think about the first guy? Do you think he had some valid points? I mean, if he was just making a case for the longevity GOAT, winning. But if you're talking about the overall GOAT, for me, no, there's a lot more than just longevity in the game.
Draft
You
night.
are a Laker fan
Of course.
for lifelong?
For lifelong.
From?
For life.
From New York.
Okay, how did
From
that
New York.
happen?
Laker fan from New York.
Basically, my godfather used to live with us. He's a big Kobe guy. Growing up, watched him, win a couple rings. About 8, 9 years old. Stuck with the Lakers ever since. So,
Okay.
Lakers fan. But I wanted to talk about a couple things that you just mentioned.
Yes.
The scoring. You want to say that Jordan is a better scorer, right? Well, why don't we talk about the illegal defense rules, where you're not allowed to have any help defense back his entire time. When you watch LeBron play over his 22 years of greatness, every time he's driven to the paint, there's probably about 16, 17 people who jump in there to try to stop him.
Okay. This is gonna go bad. 'Cause he's trying to make an argument that the lanes are more packed for LeBron versus what Jordan dealt with these wide open, this wide open paint that they're looking at with modern basketball. This is not going to go over well.
They
I'll
need,
give you that.
And they
It's a
need
fair
more.
point.
And they
Yep.
need more. 16, 17 people still was
I
never
have
enough
said
to
from
stop
the
him.
start, he is the greatest driver of the basketball I've ever seen, greatest basket attacker because he's 6'9", 200, and I don't know what he is now, 260, maybe 270, ambidextrous, left hand, right hand, because he's born left-handed and can shoot it both ways. I give you all the above.
All right,
Proceed.
and then continuing. So if we're going to say that Jordan's a better scorer, right? You just admitted yourself
Yep.
he's not as good driving to the paint because nobody is. It's not even a knock
listen,
against him. If I may,
Jordan was a demon attacking the basket, but LeBron's just bigger. Like Jordan's 6'6", we're talking 6'9",
bigger, stronger,
270.
faster, jumps higher, more handsome. But
I'd personally say Jordan is better at driving at the paint. It's the difference is LeBron's not getting hit on his way to the paint and inside of the paint like Jordan was. So I would vote that Jordan's better. If Jordan was playing in a modern league, we'd see him attack the rim like we've never seen anybody do in NBA history.
anyways, continuing.
Not jumps higher. Did you ever see the dunk contest? Because LeBron did not compete in a single dunk contest because he was scared to death
You
of
think
them.
he was scared of the
scared,
dunk
he was gonna-
contest?
yeah,
You don't
humiliate
even mean
himself.
that. I see it in your eyes. You don't mean it.
mean that.
All right, continuing though.
I
Continuing
agree,
though.
he is.
You're talking
He
about
is
his
scared.
shooting. The three-point line was not only closer during Jordan's time, they were treating him like he was Ben Simmons. They were leaving him open from the three-point line. They had no problem with him taking
That line's crazy because that only covers 1 year. That's like saying every year for LeBron James was a bubble season. Like it's just one season, man.
shots.
Yeah.
They were treating him. It was like Magic Johnson with a paper cut. Nobody wanted to get near him. They knew he couldn't make it, so they let him take as many threes
Remember
as
him
possible.
against Portland in the finals, running up the court like, I just made another one.
It was like, oh my God,
Oh.
finally, they're starting to drop.
Yeah.
Who would you say is the greatest?
No, that's not how it went down. Nobody dared him to shoot like that before. They literally sagged off. Portland sagged off of him in the '92 finals. They gave him about 5 feet of freedom. They literally publicly dared him to shoot. So, and he bombed them from three. But then he never wanted to do it again because that's not his style of play. But all he did there was prove I can do this when I want to, but I choose not to. Yet this is going over the head of Jordan haters because they're saying I don't even know what he's trying to say here.
It's like, oh my God,
Oh.
finally, they're starting to drop.
Okay, so that's what they're saying is like, oh, this is the first time it's like a miracle that they're dropping. No, it's him showing you, it's him shutting up Rick Adelman is what it is, the coach of the Portland Trailblazers at that time.
Who would you say is the greatest three-point shooter of all time?
Ray Allen was up there. Obviously, Steph is.
So Steph.
Yeah,
I mean,
somewhere-
it's Steph.
Yeah,
It's
but
obviously
I
Steph.
saw Ray make the greatest clutch three I have ever seen.
So obviously,
Yeah.
we're on the same page. Steph
Yeah.
is the greatest three-point shooter of all time.
I'd give him Ray and Steph.
Now, last year, what was the percentages? Who shot more efficiently from three? Was it LeBron or was it Steph?
Well, I mean, Steph had a
Was-
much higher percentage last year. I don't remember exactly what LeBron's was, but I mean, Steph was 44% last year.
Fortunately,
Yeah.
LeBron shot a higher percentage from three than Steph did last year. And I understand
What are
maybe,
the
I think
numbers?
if you went towards the volume, you could have had it, but the percentages, which is what we're talking about, incorrect. So LeBron is better from three, better at attacking the basket.
LeBron
Would you
did not
I
say-
can't say he's better at three. Come on now.
shoot better from three than Steph did last year. I don't know what you're looking at, but he just didn't.
numbers.
Okay?
And then if we're talking
You must have gone to LeBron.com for those
Well,
numbers,
why,
right?
why don't we talk about the I Promise School? Because that's actually where I grew up. I studied at the I Promise School. And
You
those
did?
kids, yeah, those kids,
Okay.
those kids there.
Yeah.
I mean, if we really want to talk about it, on the court, I don't even think it's close. But off the court, LeBron, what he did at the I Promise School, those kids needed to use
Okay,
two
but
hands to
that's
count to
great.
five.
I am with
and now
you,
they're almost
but
passing math tests
That's
because
not
of
what
LeBron
we're talking about.
Raymond James.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Nice
okay,
try.
so that was personal. That whole thing was just personal. It wasn't really. It wasn't about basketball for him.
Way to go. Who is next? You want to go?
He loves LeBron because, yeah, I mean, and I totally get it because it sounds like a system of LeBron's actually helped him out as a kid. So yeah, he's a loyal LeBron guy, like in the heart, not just with basketball. So, you know, that's kind of you want to talk about being biased. It's a little biased there.
Oh, here
And
we
yes,
go.
I'm very aware of my Jordan bias too, but I'll admit it with mine and I'll point it out with others.
Go. Yes, sir.
All right, round three.
What's your name?
My name's David.
Hi, David.
It's great to meet you. So obviously we've been talking a lot about the LeBron Jordan. I think if we really had to classify this, it goes into three classifications. We can talk about the numbers and what was done on the court, which I think is going to be a huge part of this conversation as long as we omit everything that's not Jordan's 6 finals. Because if we look at the totality of what Michael Jordan did compared to LeBron, LeBron is a huge head start. Then we take the eye test. We all have televisions. We've all seen them both. I think the big piece here.
Have you seen Jordan? I'm not sure a lot of the
I have.
people
I
here
have.
seen
I was
Jordan.
born.
He
I
actually
was born.
existed. He actually played in the NBA once
was,
upon a time.
which is-
you can YouTube him. Just check him out.
Which is wild
Yeah.
because at this point
Yeah.
we talk about Jordan like a mythical figure,
Yeah.
understanding that he came in the age of analog in the 80s, going to the digital age in the 90s.
True.
We got exposure to athletes that's not the same overexposure now. And so at this
True.
point, we also have the man,
Okay.
Republicans buy sneakers too. So he was very much someone who didn't want to hurt his public persona.
Yeah.
LeBron gives his opinions, and of course he has such a large following that 50% of the people hate his opinions. But regardless.
Although I got to tell you, because I got to know Jordan fairly well, he did not care what you thought or you thought or you thought or I thought of him. In the end, he did sell sneakers, and that was some throwaway line on a bus going back to the hotel. He was joking about because he's the greatest sneaker salesman in the history of sneakers. I got them on right now. I live in them.
Well, he
I'm
came.
sure some people here got some Jordans on. Am I
Yeah, but
right?
he-
Did
he-
anybody wear Jordans?
He
No,
came into
no
the
Jordans.
league. He came into
There's
the
some LeBrons right there, I think, right? I think those are some Lebacos.
league at a time where before Jordan sneakers,
You own 'em, but you didn't
everyone
wear
was
'em.
wearing the same
Right.
shoes that you see a barista in Bushwick wearing right now.
Okay,
They're all
all right,
wearing, you know,
that's true.
if LeBron came into the league and everyone was wearing Crocs, I'm sure the LeBron shoes would be selling off the shelves, and suddenly he's
Okay.
got the most important
All
shoe
right.
in the world.
Okay, but LeBron didn't care. I mean, Jordan didn't
Okay,
care
that's
what.
a way to sell some LeBrons. Make a LeBron, like Crocs LeBron edition. That would sell some shoes, I think.
What people thought of him. LeBron really cares about what people think. And I always say he's a really nice guy, too nice a guy to be the cold-blooded assassin that Jordan was, which is why he was 6-0.
He was cold-blooded enough in 2011 that when he lost, he decided he was so angry that he would rattle off 7 more straight NBA finals, which happened to be more than LeBron made his entire
Okay.
career. But I think when we start looking
Yeah,
at
and he only won 3 of them.
the longevity piece, which clearly if you're
What a killer.
pro Jordan guy, you sort of have to willfully neglect the entirety of the longevity conversation in order to even make it a LeBron versus Jordan argument. When you start looking at the eye test, you've got a guy who's built like Ben Wallace, runs like Randy Moss, but your first thought
I wouldn't
is,
go that far, but
well, I might. But then, of course, you start looking at it, it's like, well, this guy is the greatest athlete that America's ever seen, but can he pass the basketball like Magic Johnson?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, he can. But can he score the basketball
by the way,
similar
you
to
realize in 1998, Jordan averaged 8 assists that year?
Yeah,
he
that's
could
a-
really pass the basketball, but when you're winning 10 scoring titles and you're going 6-0 in the finals, your team doesn't need you to pass the basketball like LeBron's has needed him to pass the basketball.
Especially when your job is shooting guard and your specific job is to score 30 points a game and lead the league in scoring. That's your job. So any assist is a bonus at that point. He's got Scottie Pippen on his team. So that's the ball handler, that more the playmaker, point forward type position. Well, Jordan's job is just to put up points, man.
Makes sense because LeBron's playing in an era where basketball and ball movement was the biggest piece.
Okay.
One thing we always talk about, of course, is Jordan's 6-0 versus LeBron's, but you never stuck an all-time great dynasty in the middle of Jordan's prime. If you had put the Warriors in the middle of Jordan's prime, is Jordan still 6-0?
If the Warriors existed in Jordan's prime, would they ever be considered a dynasty? That's the real question. Would, say, for instance, like the Suns could have won a couple of seasons. The Houston Rockets could have won a couple more seasons. The Knicks could have won a couple of those. Like it could have gone very different than the way it did. Portland could have won a couple. Utah could have been considered a dynasty. They could have won at least back-to-back, if not for Jordan. So it's all these teams that you have to think about that could have become dynasties if not for Michael Jordan. And if you put something that, like the modern Golden State Warriors, you threw them into the 90s. The question is, do we ever talk about them? Or do they just keep losing in the finals to the Bulls? We don't know.
The other question I would have is if you took Jordan and had him match up one-on-one versus Steph, which I agree with you. Jordan is one of the best on-ball defenders we've ever had.
Well,
The difference
he
is-
only won a Defensive Player of the Year,
Of course,
which LeBron
which
hasn't won.
is probably more of a testament to the defensive prowess in the league and at the relative time he was there versus later when the entire NBA was significantly more athletic and the individual defenders were better. I guess my question here is that if you put Jordan on Steph in the middle of an NBA final game, and you could make the case that Jordan could lock Steph up, but one thing Jordan couldn't do is that when Steph actually then hands the ball off to Draymond, a back pick gets set, the ball gets back to Steph, he kicks it to Iguodala, Pippen then goes run to go guard Iguodala, kicks it to Clay in the corner, Clay scores 3. You don't necessarily have Jordan to be able to defend all of that. Meanwhile, the reason why LeBron's steal numbers aren't the same is because LeBron was playing center fielder in a way that he could basically stand behind the actual primary defender, and no matter where the ball went, in about a half a second, LeBron was there.
Okay,
hold
real
up.
quick. That's an unfair argument because that's assuming Jordan couldn't evolve as a player due to different styles of basketball. That's not a fair statement to make. He never saw offensive schemes like that, so how do we know how he would guard them? And I would say that about every past basketball player. We can't say that because they never got an opportunity to do it. You know how Michael Jordan says, I can't say I'm the greatest of all time because I never got a chance to play against Wilt? Same kind of argument here. You can't say he couldn't do it. You never gave him an opportunity to do it. He never had to do it.
Hold on a second.
Same thing with the threes argument. He's proven he can when he wants to. So if he was in the modern league where there's a lot of three-point shooting, he would have held his own.
Have run out of time, but we ain't done yet. We got to go a little bit more on this because I want to crush somebody else before we're finished with this first topic. Here we go. What's your name? Connor, have a seat.
Skip, a pleasure to be across from you. I've seen you debate many people on this subject. In the near 2 decades I've been watching LeBron James, I got a question for you about Scottie Pippen. A guy, for people with your narrative, we like to hate on Scottie Pippen. Guys in this room, we love Scottie Pippen. Michael Jordan,
bet you do.
in '93, the Chicago Bulls win 57 games. He retires, which we can get into the reasoning behind it. Maybe a gambling suspension, maybe something else. Who knows?
I give you that. Yeah.
Thank you for giving that one to me. I appreciate it. So he retires the next year. The Chicago Bulls win 55 games.
Yep.
Scottie Pippen, the guy, even when Jordan was playing, the guy who leads the team in rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks, the do-it-all guy, the guy who was the better defender, defending the best wing on the opposing team.
He was a great Robin. I give you that.
Well,
Yeah.
that year he was actually not a Robin. He was top 3 in MVP voting, top 3 in Defensive Player of the Year voting, first team All-NBA, and first team All-Defense. The team won 55 games. That is a
Remember what happened against the
difference.
Knicks in the playoffs?
Yes, they lost in 7 games to the Knicks. The Knicks, the team that went and defended, that represented the East, and lost in 7 to Hakeem Olajuwon and the Rockets.
What happened to Scotty in that final, in the that playoff series?
See, none of us old heads want to be Scottie Pippen haters. We don't want to. But then when the LeBron fans make it out to be like Scottie Pippen was the greatest player in the world, there's no other direction than down from there. Because they lift him up so high that we have to push Scottie Pippen back down to where he belongs in a realistic point, which is an all-star, which is a great basketball player, but he proved that he couldn't be a number one. He's a great number 2. He's possibly the greatest number 2 of all time, but he is not a number 1. He's not a leader. He doesn't have that in him. It's just what it is. He got an opportunity. So Scottie Pippen had one decent season without Jordan. Second season, he fell apart. You want to talk about LeBron's ex-partners or partners? I seem to recall Dwayne Wade won a championship before LeBron ever came around. We don't like to talk about that, though, do we?
What happened? He wouldn't go back in a game. It was the crucial turning point game of that series.
I don't know what
wouldn't
that is.
go back in. Yeah.
Okay, great. So they lost 2 games after Michael Jordan, the best
He
player
was
ever.
Robin
The best
to
player
Batman.
ever. He retires in the middle of his prime, and we give him these years like, it counts. He retired. He quit on his team, and they lost 2 less
No,
games.
he didn't quit. They fired his coach.
LeBron James they went 66 and 16
Yeah.
and
Wow. Can I hear that back real quick?
retires in the middle of his prime, and we give him these years like, it counts. He retired. He quit on his team, and they lost 2 less
No,
games.
he didn't quit. They fired his coach.
LeBron James they went 66 and 16 in 09. 66 and 16, they had the best record in basketball. The following year, they go 61 and 21, best record in basketball. He leaves. They go 19 and 63, the 29th best record in basketball. Wait, stop. They three out of the next 4 years, they have the number 1 pick. They go back-to-back years, the best team in basketball, to 3 out of 4 years, the number 1 pick. This team lost 2 games or won 2 less games. He retired. That's the difference this guy makes. The best wing, the second best wing when Jordan was playing was the guy right next to him, his teammate, Scottie Pippen. That was the other best wing in the league, his teammate. And the guy who thinks that LeBron is better than him. Don't look up Scottie Pippen's opinions on other things that might ruin the argument.
Yeah,
But he says
no kidding, because also Scottie Pippen's better than LeBron. Scottie Pippen's the greatest of all time. Don't forget.
LeBron's better than him. But before he got there, 1 and 9. You talk about playoff performances. Look up how Jordan played in those games. Look up how Jordan played in them.
Oh, good. I will.
He
Okay,
actually played really good. I've actually looked it up. I know how. So
He
maybe
scored
it's a
63
So
at
maybe it's a
Boston.
team sport.
63?
So maybe it's a team sport. So maybe you guys, the Jordan fans, they like to say, "Oh, he scored 63 against Bird and the Celtics, that all-time team." Yeah, that's great.
Do you remember what
look at
Bird said
LeBron,
after
but
the game?
you can't say that. You can't count that.
Bird said that was God disguised as Michael Jordan. That was from Larry Bird when Michael was in his second year because they were scared to death of him.
They anointed him. We've looked at LeBron's career in comparison to Michael Jordan since he's 15 years old, averaging 21 and 6.
Help me out here. Help me out.
Please.
2010, last go-around for a stint in Cleveland against the Boston Celtics. LeBron played one of the greatest games. I watch every dribble that he's ever dribbled. At Boston, game 3, and they go up 2-1, and he shrinks and disappears in 4, 5, and 6. And ultimately, his owner accused him of quitting in that series.
Well, you can't run to Miami to go get help if you win a championship. So I always kind of felt like that season, that 2010 playoffs, was like it was, yes, he's quitting, but the reason why he quit, I don't think we talk about very much. He quit because what's the point? He don't want to win in Cleveland at that time. He wants to go get help. He knew he was going to team up with D Wade. Chris Bosh, that ended up being kind of a surprise.
Jordan never was accused of anywhere near
He
quitting.
quit for 2 years. He retired twice in the middle of his. First of all,
stop.
What do you
We're
mean?
talking about what happens on the basketball court, quitting on the basketball court. We're not talking about retirement. Retiring, have you ever held a job before? Retiring from your career versus quitting in the middle of a shift. These are two different things.
Explain. Why did he retire? Why did he retire?
Because his father got murdered.
Good job. Thank you.
Why can't it be addressed? Because his fucking father got murdered. Oh, wow. Guys, I think, okay, so that's round one. Jeez, this video is crazy. I can't believe this thing, it's got 43,000 views right now. Like, I feel like this video should be blowing up. All right, so what do we got to look forward to? In the next video, we're going to be covering round two, which is LeBron is 4-6 in the finals and could be 2-8, saved by Ray Allen and Kyrie Irving. All right, I'm going to do that one tomorrow. That's going to be fun. That's going to be a fun one. Oh, boy. All right, you guys, what'd you think? Hopefully you're chiming in the comments as this thing was going on. I think this is going to be a long series, I think. I didn't expect it to happen, but here we are. I'm relatively entertained so far. It does make me wish I was in there. Skip is doing okay, but Skip is kind of, rehashing the old talking points as opposed to kind of directly combating the words that are coming at him. I mean, I get it. He's old. He's, but he's doing his best here. And these guys are really coming at Skip's head. So this is pretty entertaining, I gotta admit. It's just hard as somebody who wants to defend Jordan. It's hard not being able to do it. But I guess that's what the reaction is for. I guess that's why you're here watching, is to see what my rebuttal is going to be. So you heard my take so far on round one. I think I've talked most of it to death. Yeah, Jordan is laughably better than LeBron. LeBron gets to keep the longevity. Jordan gets to keep the winning, which is the whole point of basketball. He wins. And I would have argued all those longevity stats with averages, season averages, career averages. That's what I would have combated back because I think that's much more important. What are you producing while you're around, and what are you accomplishing while you're around? And we all know MJ produced more and he won more, and that's really what matters at the end of the day. Guys, I'm out of here for round one. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow for round two. I'll see you all in the comments, all right? Please leave this video a like. Let's push it out there. It might help get some eyes on the original video too. And subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. Guys, hit that bell notification if you want to get notified tomorrow when round two drops. All right, everyone? Until then, peace out and be water, my friends.